I'm Rebecca Wilson, the director of Beautiful Feet Dance School here at Esperanza First. I've been dancing for almost 20 years now. I started when I was 5. I danced locally for a long time, and then after high school I went and danced in New York for 2 years. I've been teaching like 5 years, I think. I started teaching when I was 15, but then of course when I went off to school I took a break from teaching, and then when I came home I've been teaching ever since. I think my favorite part is like looking back. So I love just getting to work with my students every day and come in and watch them grow and work hard and see them see their own success. I love that. But I also love, like I was just looking back at our Christmas show last year and just noticing how much every one of my students has grown just in those last 6 months. Like they made leaps and bounds, no pun intended. And it was just, I think that's the best part. I would sign my kid up for dance because I love it, but also it just teaches discipline, and especially ballet teaches you how to control your body, and I think it prepares you really well for any sort of physical activity you would want to do in the future. I would choose Esperanza First because it's a very family-friendly environment. Obviously, we are a church, so we teach Bible along with dance, and I think that's just really encouraging because the dance world can get a little crazy sometimes. So I definitely would feel a lot more comfortable knowing that I'm taking my child to a place that's going to take care of them. Just some water, some stretchy pants that aren't going to rip on you, and then if it's a tap class, I would highly recommend bringing tap shoes, but for ballet, like you can even just do that in socks. If you're like, I don't want to make the investment, then just bring some socks. There will be costume fees throughout the year, so you're going to have to buy costumes for Christmas and for our spring recital. We do our best to make that as affordable as possible. We just charge you whatever the costume company charges us. And we do offer a lot of rental options, which are only $15 for those rental costumes, so that, again, you can save as much money as possible. We start at age 3, and we have classes all the way through adults even. So our really little kids, our 3 and 4-year-olds, we call them the tiny dancers. And they just focus on creative movement and just having fun. And then in our beginner level, that's 5 and 6, sometimes 7-year-olds, just depending. And obviously they get a little bit more focused in on the dancing, but we still try to keep it really fun for them. In level 1, I would say is the first jump to a more serious ballet education. They start coming twice a week at that time, and that's around 7 or 8 years old. And then level 2, we really hone in on technique and we start learning a ton of new moves, and then that is really primarily just based on your experience, so that's usually for girls who have been dancing like 3 years or so. And then level 3 is currently our highest level. That's when you're going to start pointe and contemporary and start trying to round out your dance education in general. Pointe we usually start in level 3, like I said, but that is definitely based on their skills. So just because you're old enough to be in level 3 doesn't mean you get pointe shoes. You have to have been dancing, in my opinion, for at least 3 years of ballet before you can start pointe, because it's really dangerous and I never want to see a student get injured when we put them up on pointe. So I always make them take a test first, and we test their flexibility and their strength to make sure that they're really ready for that step. And then tap is just for anybody. Anybody who wants to have fun should take a tap class. My adult classes are for obviously adults. I like to focus on beginning adults because I just think it's so fun as an adult to try something new, and I think it's something, especially in Del Rio, that is not available to people. Like there's nothing for adults to go do, so I love to have an outlet for them here. I have a beginner tap class on Saturdays, and my ballet class for adults is also beginner. Oh, and we're starting a new swing dance class, which is also Saturdays for beginners. And then I do have, for people who have been tapping for a while, I have another class that's on Tuesdays, and it's like a beginner intermediate level. So if you're an old tapper, you want to get back into it, you might want to try that class. No, adults do not have to participate in the recitals. I usually give them the option if they want to, because it can be really fun, but I know that's not always what you're into. You want to be able to come to a no pressure dance class and just have some fun. that's definitely what I try to provide. And then if you're like, this is great and I want to put it on stage, then we can do that. But if you don't, there's absolutely no pressure to do that. For the future, I would just love to see the school continue to grow, and I would love to see students discover their passion for dance and even for teaching dance. I would love to see our shows continue to grow and just see what we can do there, because I love providing opportunities for kids to be involved in something more than just once a year recital, but to feel like they're really part of telling a story of some kind.